Hi everyone, it's Pumudi Tananda here from Team GAUI, and in this video I would like to show you assembly tips for the Eclipse FPV racing quadcopter. So first thing you want to do is you want to get the manual online, and the very easy way to do that is to take the box cover which we had taken off in the previous video, and flip it over to the back, and there's a QR code down here. Just take your mobile device or tablet or whatever, in my case my iPad, and then I just scan the QR code and it'll generate the manual on your device. So once you've gotten the manual on your device, go ahead and open it up, and first thing I like to do on this Eclipse is to take off the top cover of the Eclipse and the bottom cover. Keep the screws that attach the top and bottom covers separately. So for the bottom one, just keep it with its screws, and the top one with its screws, so you don't get confused. And of course have to take the battery tray off as well, and the top plate is removed fairly easily following the manual on page, let me see here, you can take the top plate off with the, looking at the manual on page 5, on the bottom half of page 5, you just remove all the screws, and then you can take the top plate off and take the bottom cover off. And let's go ahead and zoom in on the first tips I want to show you. Alright, so now after we've taken off the top plate and we've removed it up here, the only thing connecting the top plate now to the middle plate is the FPV camera's signal lead. So what you want to do here is just, if I just zoom in here, there's a servo lead which connects to the FPV camera. You just want to go ahead there and pull it out gently like that, and then now you can we have already separated the top plate and the middle plate. Okay, so after we have removed the top plate of the quadcopter, the next thing I would do is I'm going to remove the arms. So I'll just take one off for you to see. All of them can be removed now because we have already removed the clamping screws on the frame. So let's go ahead and remove all 4 arms, and then just take a look here. There's a screw that attaches and clamps the arm onto the motor mount. This screw is threaded into aluminum. So what I would do is I just take the screw out, put some thread lock on it, and then screw it back in, clamp the motor mount to the arm tube, and then we'll put the motor into the motor mount, and then thread the wires through the arm so it comes out through the back here. And I'll just go ahead and get to that and fast forward the video to when it's done. Okay, so now we've installed the motors on the arms and checked the torque on all the screws, and put thread lock on all of them. Let's go ahead and put them into the airframe. So for Scorpion motors, the golden colored lock nut is a normal thread, which means counterclockwise means remove. We're gonna put this the normal thread ones into the top, into the forward right, hand corner, top forward right hand corner of the quadcopter. So we'll just put the arm, thread the motor wires through there and push them through that hole in there, and we'll put slide the arm right in to the frame like that. We're not going to lock anything down with the arm yet, so we're just going to leave it like that first. Don't push it so the arm comes through the clamp like that, but just flush is okay. So we turn it over this side, and then we'll just pull the motor wires through like this. One thing I would like to recommend when doing this is you take a fine file, and we'll just file down the edge of this, the inside of the inside rim of the arm, so that we make sure there's no sharp areas where it can cut the wires. So just like that, it's done. Just put the reverse thread into the top left corner and thread the wires through, just like that, and push it in. Okay, now we pull the wires through down the back here. Once that's done, it's okay. I'll go ahead and finish up the rest of the two arms. Alright, so we've got the arms all fitted into the fuselage in the middle here. So what we're going to do next is we're going to connect up the our receiver to the ports. If you're running a traditional receiver, we have to get the wire pack, which is in the miscellaneous packets here, and connect it up to this port over here, and connect them individually to your receiver. But in my case today, I'm running an S-Bus receiver, so just go ahead and plug it in. It's as easy as 1, 2, and 3. Plug it straight in. Make sure it's snug inside the receiver port, so we've got it in there now. And next thing we're going to do is plug in our video transmitter. So this wire over here, yellow, black and red wire, will run from the front of the fuselage over here to your video transmitter. So make sure the polarity is correct, matching your video transmitter, and if it is, you can just plug it straight in, just like that, and we're ready to go with the video transmitter and the receiver. So the next thing we have to do before we put the top plate on here is we need to select which voltage we're going to run on our flight pack system. So for me, I'm going to be running 4 cell. So if you look up here, inside here there's a jumper. It's yellow in color, and it writes there 3S and 4S. So now it's at the 3S configuration. I'm going to go ahead and plug it into the 4S side, so we get we can plug in a 4S battery in there. I'll go ahead and do that. Take it out, plug it back in to the 4S side, which is on the left, if you're looking from the back. So there we go, it's in the 4S side of the jumper, and we should now have 4S capability on this quadcopter. So let's go ahead and take our top plate, and this is actually a 12 volt camera system, so we just plug it into the 12 volt video side, which is on the right hand side of the craft. If you're looking from the back, just go there and plug into the 12 volt port. Alright, so once it's in there, we can go ahead and wire up install everything properly. The receiver, I'm going to just put Velcro onto the bottom and then plug it in, and then the video transmitter will just be on the back. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll get back to putting the top plate on. Okay, so now installed the receiver, the video transmitter, and we're just gonna check that all the connections are secure before we put on the top plate. So as they are secure, and we can go ahead and install the top plate on here. Before I forget about this one, we need to install the tilt servo into the receiver at one of the channels. So the channel I'm going to choose is going to be far from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which are the main control channels we use on the control board to switch between flight mode and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it into the 7th channel right here. So the reason why I'm plugging into such a far channel back is because I don't want it to interfere with any other flight mode channel which might be active if we accidentally switch that channel to the servo channel. So let's go ahead and pop the top plate onto this baby. Alright, so just tuck all the wires in and then pop the top plate on. Just like that. Make sure no wires are leaking out the side. Just like that. The receiver wire, receiver antennas are clear. Alright, so we've done that now. So the top plate is on and it's snapped into the there's a groove there, so it just pops into place. Now we're going to install these 4 screws here, which lock the arms in the place where it's supposed to be. So we'll just go ahead and do that. So that now we've installed all the 4 screws here, we can go ahead and put our plastic piece here, which will magnify the light. So we can just get in there. So now we've got the 4 screws on, and the plastic piece which is supposed to go on the front and the back on. I'm not going to put the one on the back on because my video transmitter is right in the place of that thing, so I'll just leave that one out but put on the front one. So now let's go ahead and follow the manual and put in the rest of the screws. Okay, now we've gotten the screws that we're supposed to get on the top plate. So now the top plate's secure to the body. What we're going to do next is we're going to take the top cover and go ahead and fit it on to our quadcopter body. So just like that, very easy. Top cover just slips on like this, and we have the 2 long screws which clamp down the remaining 2 booms, two arms of the quadcopter. Make sure that the arm is fully in, and then we're going to go ahead and tighten this one up to clamp this arm in. So that one's in, and the remaining long arm just fit in like this. Then the remaining 2 short screws. Okay, so now our top cover is on. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and turn the quadcopter around, and we'll see what we can do on the bottom half of the quadcopter.